Hello, how is everyone doing? It is your fallen angel back with another video. Today, we are going over what do cats want? A brief feline history. So without further ado, let us just jump right in. Early in the 20th century, the great psychologist and philosopher Sigmund Freud wrote, "I have not been able to answer the great question that has never been answered. What does a woman want?" He said those words as a man who loved and lived with a wife and a daughter. Many men and women who love and live with cats have looked upon our sometimes puzzling, sometimes exasperating, and always interesting household companions, and, like Freud asked, what does a cat want? Observing cats is a lot like looking through a kaleidoscope. So many different images, always changing, always beautiful. We'll begin the challenging and rewarding experience of trying to understand your cat. So, someone said, perhaps God made cats so that man might have the pleasure of fondling the tiger. Robert Davies, Canadian novelist and literary critic. The feline species, animals you might recognize as belonging to the feline species, evolved over 1 million years ago, at about the same time that humans first appeared on Earth. The earliest cats were, of course, wild and didn't live with or near any human communities. They began their existence as hunters in Africa. From there, they migrated, pretty much as humans did. Did they follow the spread of human villages? Who knows? Maybe in the night they picked up scraps from human campfires, or caught the vermin attracted by the scraps. Maybe they just found us fascinating. In 2007, the New York Times reported on a study that connected the lineage of cats we now keep as pets to about 5 African wildcats, also known as Felis sylvestris, who chose to become domesticated. We write chose because we all know that it's extremely difficult to force cats to do anything they don't want to do, and it's unlikely that this was a different story 1 million years ago or so. Felis sylvestris is a biological species named for wild cats. Felis cactus is the biology subspecies named for the domestic cat. It is sometimes identified with its species name as well as Felis sylvestris catus. Both wild and domestic cats are in the class Mammalia and the order Carnivora. So guys, if you ever wanted to know how to do the kingdom phylum order, the quickest way is King Philip came over for good sex. This is how you know kingdom phylum order species, all that. That's just say that terminology and you can know the whole genus. It quite naturally follows that two of our most famous cats are named Felix and Sylvester. Felix was created in the silent film era. He went on to become a popular comic strip character and a commercial promoter of many kind of goods. Sylvester made his first appearance in the film Life with Feathers on March 24th, 1945. Looney Tunes and Merry Melodies made him famous, as he spared with his arch rival, Tweety Bird. Certainly, you remember I Twat, I Taw, Putty Cat, Putty Tat. Unlike dogs, human interference in the breeding of cats has not changed the species very much. The body and brain of virtually every cat born today would allow it to survive on its own, without human help. Compare that to maybe, let's say, a pug or a Pekingese or an English bulldog, or in fact, if most of any other dog breed. Few of our dogs could revert to the wild and become highly organized group hunters like their wolf ancestors. Around the world, cats similar to those we keep as pets are now surviving in the wild. Cats are so adaptable to their environments that they can be found in cities, the open plains, the great deserts, and the deepest forests. They can survive in almost any climate where the people survive, except, of course, in the very coldest. But that can also be nuanced, guys. I've seen cats live in very, very cold climates, extremely cold climates, and they can make it happen. And size doesn't seem to be a factor in the survival. In fact, there is today a species of wildcat that is smaller than the average adolescent house cat. It's Felis nigrips, an African black-footed cat that reaches a top weight of only 5 to 5.5 pounds. These cats are loner hunters, but when they want company, as in a mate, they let it be known with an extraordinary strong roar. If you want to see one, you'll do best in the Great Karoo or of Namibia, the Kalahari, Botswana, and South Africa. Feral cats are those who live outside, the comforts of a human home. Dictionary definitions of a feral include relating to a suggestive of a wild beast, not domesticated, having escaped from domestication and became wild. But the cats we call feral are almost always associated with human habitation. Sometimes food is left out for them by several different families. Sometimes they forage in human rubbish. Sometimes they live entirely on the prey they capture, but always they are wary of human interaction. There are an estimated 60 million feral cats in the United States alone. Cats who have never slept inside a house can be seen hunting in virtually every city in the world. These solitary hunters also gather as members of cat communities in cemeteries, parks, civic buildings, complexes, and on the steps of some of our most prestigious historical buildings. They have been photographed, studied, and featured in best-selling books. Often, particularly, prominent groups appear on tourist brochures. These cats who live on their own, but quite near to human habitation, are called feral cats. So guys, we just went over a brief summary on a brief timeline for the feline history. We'll go into some more about the history and what cats actually desire, food, temperament, and things of that nature. So if you would like to follow along with this series, feel free to like and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below. Feel free to check us out on Patreon, Rumble, Twitter, Instagram, things of that nature. This has been your fallen angel, and I am out.